bracket series was okay, but game 2 was a bit of a slaughter. That one got away from him.
Well, we'll see where they wind up here. Their Phoenix is taken out, which they did play in all 3 games versus Viking GG, so not going to let that one through. And what else we got here? Undying's still in, though. And if I know always want to fly, I know he always wants to die. I feel like he was still playing this hero before it was good.
FlyToMoon also seemed to prioritize Bane quite a bit.
Also, I mean, that's an always want to fly classic. I wonder if we have the numbers on that. I gotta see.
I'm sure someone somewhere does.
Man, he played that hero. So he has 137 pro games. The only hero he's played more is AA in pro matches all time. I believe that for sure.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I'd buy those stats. And looking at the FlyToMoon Enigma series, they played Coddle Jakiro in both games, actually, as their support duo. And they did mix an Ember in with that. But Rubik opener. Very safe for both sides. Oracle for Na'Vi and Rubik for FlyToMoon.
We're just we're chilling, the easy heroes. Lots of Ilias Oracle, though. We got to see it with the tree. The Immersion Earth Spirit remains. I always like Earth Spirit versus Rubik because I feel like you can't steal anything. That's kind of nice.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I always like Earth Spirit versus Rubik because you can't steal anything. It's like, it sucks. Like, stealing anything as Rubik from Earth Spirit is just, like, pointless. And I find, like, the position 4s, like, usually your supports have really good ultis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Rubik's always looking to steal those ultis, but it's just, like, such trash from Earth Spirit because you don't get the stones.
Yeah. Is Magnetized? Yeah, so you can never reset it because you have no stones. Yeah, okay. You're totally right about that. And you just sniped it as they picked Earth Spirit. So
and like think about it, all of his spells need the stones to be good.
Yeah.
So it's like completely shit.
It's sort of analogous to like stealing Echo Slam against Shaker. Obviously, Fissure is a 10 out of 10 spell because of the cast point, but Echo Slam without the Aftershock is pretty underwhelming.
Yeah, pretty doo-doo.
Similar kind of concept there. Yeah. All right, well, good call. Now Pangolier picked up for FTM. Another hero I think they're quite comfortable with. I have become a big fan of
Pango's busted. I think he's a first phase hero.
I think this hero is... He does a lot without items, and if you have a game where he happens to pop off and find some kills or get space in the lane, I think people still underestimate how much Pango scales with farm.
I think he's a 10th pick busted hero, though. Like, when you have the final pick in the draft, I think he's super busted. Because I think the mid Pango is going to make a slight return, I would guess. With, like, his items are all better. The Bloodseeker sucks. It's like, everything's coming up Pango.
Yeah. But, he's got options with Aghanims, Basher, Diffusal, MKB. All these kind of proc items are just stupidly good on him as a core.
And his auras are just good, like Greaves and everything, too. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're off lane.
And the chaos factor. I feel like we're getting closer to a meta where being able to create some chaos in team fights is super valuable. I think that's part of the merit of Spectre. When you pop Haunt, you have 5 seconds of complete insanity that the other team has to deal with. And Pango definitely can do some of that with the Rolling Thunder. The King of the Roche Pit, that's for sure. Second round of bans, Spectre and Beastmaster taken out by FTM, and Undying Slark, the first 2 removed by Na'Vi.
So what are even our core counters now to Pango? I guess you don't really counter him with your cores, right? You kind of still counter him with like stunning supports, and so picking him after the Earth Spirit and the Oracle's very good here.
Yeah, Bloodseeker is the only hard counter I had on my list, and that one was as hard as it gets.
Yeah, I mean they get rid of the Beastmaster. That makes sense, right?
Another one, yeah. BKB
it's like
Piercing,
pretty good versus Pango. Also, just a good offlane hero. They play it quite a bit on Na'Vi.
So the Bloodseeker one is so crazy because it's BKB Piercing, and Pango can't stop it. So he's rolling to his own death. Like there's just no opportunity for.
There's nothing he can do. He either just like stops and sits still and dies, or he just rolls and dies.
Yeah, exactly. And at least with Beastmaster, you need follow up still to kill the Pango through that. But it is a tool for sure. Anti-Mage banned out again.
They took always one of the flies on dying. I can like 100% guarantee he was going to pick that. So the Bane's still there though, as you mentioned. That's definitely still
seems
pickable
okay.
here.
Some great lockdown. Another BKB piercer.
It kind of seems like they've mostly been playing the Bane as a 4 though, which is kind of cool over the past while. Or maybe not
cool.
mostly, I should say, but they've also been playing as a 4.
I think of Hit Bane as more of an exclusive 5, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. He can like play in some offlane maneuver. Like you have a Mirana, for example. I think that's when they usually do it. So,
how do they usually play the Pango? For FlyToMoon, do we assume this is 2, 3, or 4?
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah. More than likely.
Looking for another support. Time to think about this.
General already has 38 games of Pango. Wow, that's pretty crazy when you think about it. Like he already has more pro matches on Pango than he does on Nature's Prophet. And think about how long General's been playing like pro.
That is pretty crazy, actually. It's like 38 doesn't sound like a lot, but then you remember like there aren't that many pro matches. You spam a lot of pubs.
Yeah, he's got 33 on Mars too. That's man, he's really grinding the new heroes. That's pretty cool.
So this is a cool pick here. I would assume a support for now. Yeah. But as we've talked about, the Core Avenge has come into vogue a time or two. 1 or position 2.
I'm not that hot on 5 Avenge. It's like okay. I think some people make it look way better than it actually is, like Kuro. And maybe Always Want to Fly will be the same because the guy is just like so single-minded as a support player. Like he is a hardcore classic 5. Like I will die. Dying, maybe that's, I guess, this does fit the Always Want to Die play style.
Yeah, you swap in, sacrifice yourself to save your buddy.
And you stay alive and keep your aura going. It's great.
Lifestealer with Oracle. Now, talk about survivability. Already a pretty tanky position 1. The nature of Feast makes him quite survivable, and now you got to deal with this Oracle as well.
How many ones were left? I guess Spectre, Morphling, and Slark, and AM all banned. So, yeah, I guess we're down to Faceless Void and Lifestealer.
I mean, there's a PL, right?
Nothing like screams Lifestealer to me, which makes me think that we're getting some combos coming, like they've got some plans here.
Bat Rider is still in.
That is very surprising.
That could be something for Navi. Bat Rider, Lifestealer, and Fest Bomb. That's a pretty classic combo. And plus, you have a Bat Rider. I guess there is a Vengeful Spirit, so maybe that deters them against the Bat. Maybe part of why they wanted to grab the Venge here. But still a lot of choices for potential Infest Bombs. A lot of Blink Dagger carriers in the off lane. Like Storm Spirit.
I hear my child making quite terrifying noises upstairs. He's shaking a chair or something.
Sorry, honey.
There's a demon in my ceiling.
I'm on the clock right now. Good luck up there.
Yeah, it's all you, buddy. You got
this. The broom, like 101 Dalmatian style, so you can poke the floor just to give her the nod of like, I hear it. I'm supporting you mentally.
Oh, yeah, no, there's no parents up there. He's just completely alone. I figure a 2-year-old can handle himself.
When you hear the knock, come running.
Drow Ranger. So we got a Venge combo. This makes the Venge a little bit better.
Yep, Auras.
Auras? I don't know. Auras are good.
Drow Lifestealer is interesting. It goes both ways, where if you get the initiation on Lifestealer, Drow can keep him at bay, sort of, with enough range and force stabs, and Lifestealer has trouble closing the gap when he doesn't have rage. But if they grab another good initiation gap closer, like Storm Spirit, as an example, with this last pick, Navi could still have plenty of tools to get on top of the Drow, and Lifestealer, like Ember or Timber, another perfect example. Very mobile, getting that back line, Infest Bombs.
It's also very good versus Drow because she doesn't do anything to reactive armor. Because she only pierces through base armor. Yes,
that's a good call.
Yeah, so that's nice.
Great Timber pickup.
And it's got some infest capabilities.
Yeah.
Well, what's really good is that he's gonna have the Oracle to rely on as the Lifestealer too. So he doesn't have to be like, okay, if I get silenced, I just die, because that's a very real possibility. As you said, like you tend to rely on your rage, and if you get hit by this big old, and they've buffed that silence so many times now that it's truly scary.
Gust is good. Yeah, it's worth a value point. I'll put it that way. It's also nice that they have the Earth Spirit. That's another tool that can be pretty good against the Drow Ranger. Mobile, get in the back line. Morphling taken out by FTM. Now the Lena banned out by Na'Vi.
That makes me think of Viper when they do that, when they ban the Lena.
Oh, so that Morphling was from last phase. That's my bad. Still 2 bans to go for FTM.
And they'll probably ban Storm anyway, even if it doesn't look that. All right, Void Spirit, that's a pretty good one too.
Yep.
Speaking of the spirits,
he's becoming a sleeper hero. Like, we keep seeing Void Spirit pretty ignored, but then we see him banned like this, and you go, oh, yeah, Void Spirit's pretty good.
Yeah.
Kind of forgot about him. Very good against Drow Ranger. I think all the spirits are scary here. Any of them. Ember, Storm, Void.
For both lineups, too, to be fair, actually, because maybe they don't want to ban the Storm as FlyToMoon because they might want the Storm Spirit themselves. It's a very good Storm game for them.
Now, remember, FlyToMoon will have 10th pick, so whatever gets left in here, Na'Vi will get first dibs. They have taken out TA now. Also would have been very good with the FTM lineup. Opens up Roche possibilities, synergy with Venge and Drow.
I guess Drow Storm's not nearly as good as it used to be, though, because the Aura's not global. And you're probably not even going to be within range of the Aura a lot of the time.
I mean, as of now, I am still really eyeing up Storm Spirit as a last pick for Na'Vi.
I would agree.
Okay,
I think it could have been good for either.
Yes, but I like that ban a lot from FlyToMoon. So is Ember Spirit an option here for Na'Vi?
Ember, Kunkka's still in too.
Yeah, Kunkka, that's an option. Not an Infest carrier, but
I think Viper they might go for. Because I think Viper now, like Storm could have jungled his way through. We've seen that matchup a few times where he just kind of deals with it and it's sort of fine.
Yep.
But Ember can't really jungle as early.
Invoker. Okay.
That's pretty good versus Drow, right? Getting to the back line, Tornado.
Yep.
I kind of a similar hero for Rubik too, where I feel like there's not really that great spells to steal, just because like it's so hard to get the spell you want from Invoker anyway. And part of the balance of Invoker is that his individual spells aren't really that crazy. He just has so many of them, so when you steal from Invoker, you really got to hope for like one of the best ones.
That's true. He's a quantity over quality kind of guy.
That's a really shitty Rubik game.
Yeah,
there's no stuns to steal unless you get like Cold Snap.
We joked in the last series, like, there really isn't a such thing as a bad Rubik game, but some are better than others. This one is pretty goddamn close to a bad Rubik game.
It's like, man, I hope I get Chakram.
Oof. Iceberg grabs the Nature's Prophet last pick. So some global presence now, and certainly some pushing power for FlyToMoon.
Yeah, nice mid hero for a Drow lineup these days.
Yeah. Thoughts overall on this?
The front line is very weak on FlyToMoon. So they need to play a spread out team fight of like kiting around the Timber and kind of trying to pick off Na'Vi one by one. They don't ever want Timbersaw, Lifestealer, and Earth Spirit like in a blob. Because if they're in a blob, they can't really break the blob except for General. General is like the only hope. But if they get in there as that little clump, they are just going to like eat whoever's in there.
I think you're right. Just looking at the draft, it feels a little easier for Na'Vi. You know, like they have 3 heroes that can kind of just run at them, Timber and Earth Spirit. Their strategy is charge and fuck up the backline, and their backline is most of their team. For FlyToMoon, like you said, it's going to take some choreography and making sure these fights happen on their terms.
Here's the one thing, though. Na'Vi can never do the 1x1 chain feed. Like, you need to all initiate at once. If there's like a second delay between the heroes, that's when you just get picked apart by ranged lineups like this. Where you're just like, oh, Timber jumps in, and it's like, oh, Lifestealer's coming, but he didn't infest in right away, and then suddenly Timber's at like a quarter HP.
Yeah. Like overall, though, are you hot on Drow Ranger? The matchup of her versus Lifestealer, which team would you rather be on, just from a carry perspective? Do you like Drow? Would you be confident if you were on FlyToMoon as a support right now?
Yeah. I would wish that one of my supports was a little beefier. That's my really only gripe here. Like I kind of wish this Rubik was like, I don't know, like an Earth Spirit, basically.
Yeah. Someone that can just get in the middle, throw the body, and not die immediately. I would agree with you there.
That's my only like real issue. But if they get ahead on FlyToMoon, that's pretty scary.
Well, we are going to load in game number 1, FTM Na'Vi, a best of 3 series for life in the tournament. Winner of this moves on to face OG, so quite the prize for winning this round. Loser going home a little early.
Prepare for battle.
Who is the Papa? That is the real question.
I think we'll just let the players cast the game at this rate.
Yeah, I'm good to let these play out. You guys good?
That one from General. What is that laugh? That shit is
That's
maniacal.
Pango's laugh, dude.
That's just how Pango cackles?
Yeah.
Now, what
I can't
did
wait till
immersion
every
just
pro
say?
player has like all the lines so we can drop all the good ones.
'Cause I've got my
30
profanity filter
seconds
on,
to
and there's a
battle.
couple of starred out stuff there in immersion. What are the second and third words?
He's just laughing.
Why is
Ho-ho.
it starred out? Ho ho is starred out. Jesus.
They're not big on Christmas at Valve.
Jesus, dude. This profanity filter needs some work. I'm
Just
calling
turn
you
it
out,
off,
Valve.
dude. What are you, like 10?
Well, it's not for me, Trent. It's that it should work well. It should be usable if you are one that wants
but
to use the profanity filter.
If one was going to use a profanity filter or make it, wouldn't you err on the side of caution on everything? And then if they don't like it, they can just turn it off. And then it's just like, okay, here you go.
Well, then it's just a useless piece of shit. You know, you want to do the thing where it searches partial strings. So, you know, like team names such as Nigma
culpability
are
there,
completely banned
bud.
out. Culpability. Yeah, okay. Well, then we should remove all the voice lines that have ho-ho in them. I think
Attaboy.
that would be the next appropriate solution. Always Want to Fly does die down bottom, so as you were joking during the draft, guess who's dead first in this game?
How about that sick tree damage, though? Did you see that? It was like 126 on that Whirling Death. How many trees did he cut? 2, 3. At least he might have hit 4 bonus trees there.
Okay. All right.
That was a lot of extra damage. I guess we can literally do the math because it's pure, can't we? It's 12 per tree, so yeah. So he hit 3 trees.
Bottom is missing.
No, 5 trees? I don't remember what the number was anymore.
I'll just let you sort that out, buddy. Up top, Crystallize, he gets repelled. Not going to die here at level 1, but some pressure in the lane already against General and Aloha Dance.
Oh, yeah, it was 126. So it was 3 trees. Yeah, math's hard. Well, not really. You just have to remember if it was 126 or not.
Trent McKenzie, the human
you.
calculator. We call him here at Moonduck. He was our man for Midas mode. It explains
Yeah,
everything.
that's why the math worked out so well on the finances.
We got Young G versus Iceberg mid, Invoker Prophet. Not the most exciting mid matchup here. Prophet off to a good start. I think should be relatively even.
He's going to poke him over and over with that Blightstone, though. What a nuisance.
Yeah. It is Quas Spikes Invoker, though. A nuisance is the right word. He's got plenty of regen, though.
Yeah, you're basically Blightstoning him just to keep up, kind of, to like try and tame him a little bit.
Yeah.
I would rather have Nature's Prophet mid these days, I think.
I think so, too.
I think Zero's so good.
The global presence is ridiculous. Being able to join fights in the side lanes early on, really without a big opportunity cost in terms of time out of the lane, is such a big advantage in the right scenario. Double teleports at 5 minutes. Yeah,
Well,
I'll take
early
that.
tier 1 towers, I think, is still such a busted aspect of this hero. Always Want to Fly is just helping to secure those last hits while being harassed by 2 heroes.
Yeah, he's good. He knows his limits. Loses
Immersion with the
75%.
roll through pull. Nice. So they push back Always Want to Fly to try and force the good pull here, but don't think they're going to get this here. Always Want to Fly can still just contest. Yeah, I'm going to pull the range.
Pasha getting dinked a little bit. Still only 1 point in the reactive armor. Now stunned up. This could be a kill. Pasha,
Amateur.
he'll fall. V-Tune. Credit for that one is Immersion. Rolls back to safety.
He might have died, but he died. It wasn't First Blood, and now they have the wave where they want it. So there's some value calculations there. Although they didn't kill that much of the wave on the creep, so it's still going to push back.
Wow, it's already a 1K net worth lead for FlyToMoon. This bottom lane going very well.
Bottom is missing.
Step out of your
Remember, not getting much in the way of CS. If things level out a little bit in the next couple minutes, but this is a hell of a start for the Radiant. Now they'll pull Crystallize back. He does not have Rage skilled yet. He's only level 3, and they'll find him. That's a big kill.
So did they try and go on general? Bit of a toughie. Ilias not quite level 3, so waiting for his moment to shine here.
Bottom is missing.
Oh wow, did he actually just got that denied with the right click on Oracle, by the way. That was sick.
All right. Props to Ilias. Well, Drow is having a great lane so far. It will definitely ramp up with the Timber. As you mentioned, the reactive armor just gets better and better.
Dead. Oh, he doesn't have rage, as you said. Oh, but he doesn't have telekinesis either without Mango.
Storm. Crystallize. He's going to take a lot of damage here. And roll light on mana. Aloha Dance is going to fall, but Crystallize still trying to find a spot in the trees. He's going to have the swashbuckle. Can General hit it? He does. 1 for 1, but carry for support, obviously favoring FTM.
Yeah, he just bullied him with the Orb of Venom, just holding the swashbuckle the entire time, knowing that, you know, I'm just going to wait for that moment where I'm not going to miss. You guys don't have the damage left now. You burnt it all on the Rubik. Spent all the mana on the Ilias. Is Pasha recovering here? Somewhat. I mean, he's basically just keeping even with the Drow at this point, which I guess is a little bit of a win. He's got the 2 points, though, so life's better. So you have 2 points in reactive.
Looking at worth here. Pango #1. All 3 cores of FlyToMoon top of the charts right now. We'll see Pasha get brought down pretty low, but Emergence here with a roll. So they don't have enough for a kill this time. Ralvenge. Very annoying lane combo.
That should help. Missing
It is one of those ones that, like, you can definitely just feed away. I think they're playing it pretty well. Like, the first 2 waves, I think, are very important. Like, even though Always Want to Fly fed, like, to start the game, too. It matters on those, like, rolls that Immersion can hit. But now with all the trees cleared out here, they're kind of in a bit of trouble. Because now there's really no punish game here. So Always Want to Fly can just run back and forth here, and what can Pasha do?
Yeah.
Right?
No whirling death threat. And now up top, Iceberg. He does make a TP rotation. Looks like they want this tower and Crystallize.
That ward's going to need to get left down bottom, too, because of that ulti.
Crystallize is still level 3 here, Trent. He doesn't have rage. Maybe they can kill a creep and he'll pick it up. Iceberg's in pretty deep. Young G also TP's in. But without rage, I'm a little scared for this life stealer. They do get Young G.
I'm level 4.
Not too effective. Does get the rage. Drops the TP. Just in time. Saved by the bell for this life stealer.
So the 6-minute tower push continues. This time it'll be in the safe lane, and very unlikely that FlyToMoon could do the same thing down bottom. They're just denying their own catapult, in fact.
Yeah.
Not going to work versus the Timber, so good edge. Just taking the top lane at the very least.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Sometimes you can just get away with the double, right? Like, then you take Iceberg down the bottom lane and do the same thing, but versus the Timber, it's not going to work. So
with Prophet, that potential is there for sure. But that's fine for the Drow. She'll be happy to keep this wave tucked under her tower. Already a 2K net worth lead. Look at that net worth breakdown, Trent. That's scary. That's a lot of green floating towards the top.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
For 7 minutes, especially.
invisibility. Missing
Bottom is missing.
I'm a little bit surprised, actually, at how poorly this laning phase is going for Na'Vi. It's 4-2. They're not feeding, but they just don't have the presence.
missing bottom.
And my initial reaction is that they picked their lifestealer pretty early, when they didn't really show anything to be that great of a lifestealer game. The Timber's fine for the most part. This is kind of just like, oh damn, that's a lot of damage.
This is just early stage Timber, but now Ilias, he's going to be in trouble. It's only a 4 Oracle. Iceberg taking credit for that one. Pasha managed to survive so far. 3 points in the reactive armor. They've got a stun. They've got a rolling thunder. Find something to bounce off of, and they almost have Pasha, but they'll need more. Can't find it, and now the retreat. Young G comes in. Multi-shot brings down Immersion. They do trade Always Want to Fly. But another good fight for FTM. 6-3 now.
Man, that smells so sick. I love multi-shot.
Oh, me too.
Shout out to Drow, man. This hero's way cooler than it used to be.
Yeah, you feel like you can actually do something in the lane and like have a kill threat outside of just frost arrows. It's fantastic.
So Pasha living is a big deal because the reason they bring 5 heroes down here is they just want to start shutting down Pasha's game now, because he's the next person that should be like having a match now on Na'Vi where he starts to become relevant. But if you just kill him a couple times, then you're going to slow that pacing down by a lot.
Absolutely, mid lane now, roll in onto Aloha Dance. This looks like a good setup, but there are reinforcements. FTM aren't going to let this go for free. They at least want immersion, if not more, and they won't get it. He makes it out with 30 HP, barely misses the swashbuckle there. Clean kill for Na'Vi, nicely done.
Yeah, you can give immersion a couple of hits of the old Purifying Flames. How much, if you're at 0 HP, what does 2 Purifying Flames do for you? Like 400? That's not bad. 350?
350.
All right.
Yeah. You know, took a little damage from that second one while they're waiting for the cooldown. Asha bottom lane. V-Tune looking for a kill. And he might just find it. Always want to fly is here. They drop his armor. They've got the Sprout.
I know I should
See you
respect
later,
the dead,
big dog.
but
Asha,
first,
down.
you have to earn.
First, you have to earn it, Trent. That's what Drow Ranger just told me.
Oh, I have a fun trivia question. Who gains the most agi per level in this game? Do you know?
All right, hang on a sec, though. General, mid lane, immersion. It's probably not him, but he's on the run. Who's going to die? It's going to be a 1-for-1. Immersion for General. Another good trade for Na'Vi this time. Highest agi gain in this game.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like Drow Ranger is usually the obvious answer here, but if that were the answer, this wouldn't have been an interesting trivia question. So I'm going to go with Lifestealer.
Let me tell you about it. There's actually 3 heroes that gain more agi than Drow per level, and one of them is not Lifestealer.
Fuck.
I'll take it.
Oh, they actually got him.
Is
He
it
died in the
Venge?
well.
Yeah, I saw that. Wow. I don't know. Now I'm curious. Is it Venge?
Yeah,
no, Prophet.
Venge
Prophet's
gets
up there.
Venge gets 3.8, Prophet gets 3.6, and Pango gets 3.2.
Okay. Yeah, I should have guessed Prophet. That was... I know that about him. He's int with crazy agi, and that's why he right-clicks so hard.
Yeah, Venge is nuts, though. I mean, 3.8? Like, damn. This hero.
And what is Drow's for reference?
Radiant's bottom
2.9.
That's
2.9. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess if hers was much higher, it would just be busted.
Oh, yeah. She'd be super broken. Yeah. Now, I've just seen, like, Iceberg TP into these fights and suddenly getting 22 bonus agi is kind of crazy with how this hero is built.
I faked myself out with the big brain play on Lifestealer. I know he's strength, but he's kind of agi. Ooh, they'll catch Iceberg here. Are there going to be counter kills, though? Immersion in pretty deep. Rolling Thunder going to lock him down. They will go 1-for-1. Remember, that's a mid-Prophet, though.
He actually got the good spell. He got Cold Snap.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The only useful ability right now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Middle is missing.
Mid lane, under pressure now.
I mean, Rubik with Cold Snap is basically like the Invoker that you get in your pub that plays Quaswell X but only ever has Cold Snap and Tornado the entire time. So you're half of a pub Invoker. That's something for you. It's actually so true, though. It's like these guys have been playing XOR for like 5 years and suddenly like, well, I guess Quaswell X is good now, so...
Yeah.
Guys, I've already Cold Snap and Tornado. I don't have anything else to do.
It is a weird dynamic.
Dire's top tower
Pressure
is under
continues,
attack.
though, for FlyToMoon. Up top,
Radiant's
Trent,
bottom
tier 2
tower
tower
is under
under
attack.
siege. Hey, this Drow Ranger's got the high enough compendium or battle pass that she's got the particle attack.
Bam.
Asha, caught by a swap. Follow-up stun will go into the Oracle. Big defense by Na'Vi and FlyToMoon.
Oh, you
Well,
guys. Stop
this is
feeding,
their
guys.
strat. They
You're in
always
trouble.
want to fly, die, and the rest of them retreat.
Yeah, but these are the kind of kills that Na'Vi are looking for. They're going to look to defend these towers because that is how they keep this game. Like, right now, this game's kind of even. Like, between the tower gold, you take away, like, what is it? Oh, actually, they only have one more tower. Never mind. They only have 2 more towers. All right, fair enough.
Oh, big fight now. Rolling Thunder. Getting some good bounces, but the follow-up isn't quite there. Now General might be in a sticky situation. V-Tune with a silence on 2. A great multi-shot, bringing him down low as they kill Pasha. Now Immersion stuck behind, had the surprise inside, and Crystallize will rage, run back to safety. The turn back. Good for FTM.
V-Tune is quite literally dominating this game as he's 4-0-3, but kind of perfect in these team fights. Excellent positioning. I haven't even seen a swap really needed to save him or get him out of harm's way. And they're trying to go mid with this Haste Rune and Orchid, but Aloha Dance can't really keep up.
Dire's Dire's top tower is
Young
under
G, a smart
attack.
boy
More
there, keeping
pressure
his
up
Quelling
top.
Blade too.
B-Tune will just finish off that tower.
Dire's top
Almost
tower
denied there.
is fallen.
Pasha, silent, swashbuckle, multi-shot, he's done. Iceberg with the wrath of nature to finish him off. Oh, Pasha. He is losing momentum, Trent.
And he's waving the white flag with that Seb emote. I don't blame him.
Yeesh. He has no items either. He's close to finishing up the mech, but this Timber, not that intimidating force that you want him to be during this stage of the game. Now up to a 6K net worth lead with only a 4-kill gap.
Radiant are scanning.
They just have such an overwhelming amount of damage for this point in the game. Like, we're talking about, like, concerns about, like, tankiness and stuff, but they're just, like, they're not at that point yet for Na'Vi at all.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Orchid
bro.
comes out. He gets the rage off, but can't get anywhere for an infest. Still on cooldown anyway. Very nice kill. Sets up with the scan play.
What need have I for Invisit?
I like the idea from Lifestealer to be
Dire's
farming in enemy
bottom
territory
tower
like
is
that.
under
You need to
attack.
find enemies aren't, and FlyToMoon have been playing very aggressive, but gets caught that time. Smoke up now. Invisible Pangolier might break this smoke. Nope, looks like they'll swing it wide, and they'll be safe for now. Looking to jump on the Drow Ranger, perhaps. Got the Dragon Lance, and don't forget, we've got this maxed out Venge Aura, so V-Tune actually has crazy attack range in this game.
Oh, V2's in the worst spot, though.
Knocked back. This is the initiation they wanted, and I think they'll find this kill to start it off. Immersion finds credit. Timbersaw deep in the back line, always on a fly, also going to get converged on. That's 2 down. Na'Vi not done yet, continuing to haunt.
Nice kick.
I meant to say hunt. Playing too much Spectre. Pasha going to find that kill in Aloha Dance.
They had the completely wrong read on that situation.
Yeah, they did.
So, Pango, Mr. General, was sitting up here in Visrund, right? That whole time under an Obs and a Sentry from Na'Vi. So, they just, like, go for this backstab over here because they were worried about maybe a smoke or some initiation coming down from that middle section of the map and from the high ground jungle. And, like, V2 was quite literally at the forefront of the lineup there.
Yeah.
And that's not where he wants to be.
Yep.
Oh, I like that Sunstrike a lot, actually. Checking the Roche pit.
Mhm.
Because that would have been a pretty good time to go Roche. They know that General went for the Vlads early.
Yep.
He's also picked up his drums. He did complete them. I think he needs Blink next, though. I'd really like that. I'm not even sure if the drums were necessary.
Well, even though that smoke worked out really well for Na'Vi, if they had taken that other path near the Ancients where the Pango was standing, that could have very easily backfired with that Invis rune. But now into the Roche pit. They had the right idea with that Sunstrike Scout. It should fall pretty quick once V2 makes it into the pit, but Na'Vi, they are nearby. They can certainly close this gap. Scouts out with the Tornado. Roche down to about 50% HP. Still time to get in here, though. Lifestealer not with them. He does have a TP. I don't know if they want to do this 4v5. General comes rolling out of the pit. Roche still falling, and it is going to go down virtually uncontested. Aegis on the Drow.
Yeah, good timing there from General. He made it so there was no really like win situation there for Na'Vi. They can't commit into the pit then. And they all had to just run up the high ground because they didn't want to fight on the stairs either. Else Pango wrecks them.
Midas into Armlet for Crystallize.
Yeah, this has been a bit of a go-to build lately on the Lifestealers.
Okay. Well, the Midas isn't so surprising. We're seeing that more and more now. Armlet.
Yeah, we had a Lifestealer yesterday that didn't go Midas Armlet, and I was surprised because I've just been seeing that so much lately.
I mean, Armlet's a great value item, and there's no AA or anything like that. It's certainly tempting. And in a game like this where you're behind, I think it is a good, easy build-up value item that gives you a pretty solid power spike.
It means his Halberd's going to be late, and because he went for the mech first on Posture, his Halberd's also really late, and they have double ranged core draft where the Halberds are insane value. I think Immersion's probably going to buy a Halberd after Yule's.
He's already got the Veil of Discord. Pasha, silenced. Oh, still gets off a Timber Chain. Nice. 5-man Dota.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
We've got auras.
Structures are fortified.
We're pushing towers. Good strategy here from FTM.
Dire's bottom tower.
Yeah, it is still a delicate lead, even at 8K, as we kind of saw when they lost that fight earlier, just from like V-Tune dropping. So I appreciate that they went for the Aegis before they clear out these tier 1s and tier 2s, because they're going to want cheese before they go high ground anyway.
Now the fight breaks out in the Dire jungle. Aloha Dance, the first target. Looks like he's going to get brought down. Always want to fly also. Any counter kills, though, they do get the Oracle. FlyToMoon could still be looking to take this fight. Buyback from the Oracle now, and they're going to get overwhelmed. V-Tune in trouble. He'll go down next. That's the Aegis. BKB used by Iceberg. Immersion saved thanks to the buyback from Ilias. Now V-Tune on the run again.
Keeping that aura down.
Force staff up in a couple seconds. Not going to be there. Overcommitment from FlyToMoon and a very worthy buyback from Ilias.
Delicate. Very delicate. I need to keep reiterating that. Like, they're up 8K, and you see a fight like that where the supports get blown up right away, and suddenly they just lose it.
Yeah, that's the hallmark of the Drow Venge draft, right? You're playing around glass cannon. As long as they don't touch your cannons, you're in pretty good shape.
Okay, a lot of that's actually just got Alacrity too. There are not many good spells. Maybe I'm underestimating a little bit. But that Alacrity's a 6 steal. What, you have a Drow and a Nature's Prophet?
I just hang on to that one for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, he had a level 1 Whirling Death before, so I think this is a big improvement.
That's an understatement. Level 1 Whirling Death on Rubik.
He actually took the second point in Whirling Death before the second point in Chakram, because of probably the mana cost.
Yeah. Yeah, Chakram jumps from 80 to 140, and the mana cost per second, if you leave it channeling, goes up by like 50%. It's a big jump. When you're behind, it doesn't feel good.
Alright, well, there's the armlet, and thus the halberd will be next.
What's our win percent right now? Dota Plus says 80.
Hold on.
Oh,
damn.
Sorry.
I was going to guess.
I should have let you play Jeopardy there.
I think if they had a carry that wasn't Lifestealer, it would give them like a really high. It would give them like 45% or something, I bet. If it was like a Spectre or something.
If it were Spectre, definitely. Against Drow and also just Dota Plus loving Spectre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it likes Lifestealer, though.
No. Dota Plus seems to really like the big ultis. It loves Chrono, it loves Haunt, it loves Echo.
It likes Chaos Knight, too. I've noticed that before.
Really?
Yeah, I've had games where like CK looks like there's no way they're going to win, and Dota Plus is like, nah, it's cool, don't worry.
Well, Alacrity on Drow, you can't even see her projectiles. It's just one stream of golden particles.
Radiant's top tower is
So many battle pass levels of glory.
I think that one costs 1,800, 1,900, something like that.
It's like 16.
16, okay. It's up there. The Drow is 1866, so it's in that neighborhood. It looks cool. Is it worth $800?
Dire's middle tower
Duh.
is under attack.
Maybe.
The answer is clearly yes.
Dire's middle tower
Maybe.
has fallen.
And if it's not, don't tell Owen.
Yeah, poor OD Pixel hasn't figured it out yet.
Double damage.
Hopefully he's not disappointed when that
he-
baby Roche arrives this year.
He maxed out the levels before anything was even available. Before like any of the Arcanas. Like, what a character.
Oh, that Owen, that rascal.
All right, he's not going for the blink. He's gonna rely on his own ownage here and go straight for the basher.
His own ownage.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if he can.
Thus,
do it.
him being ownage.
He's 3-1-7. He has had a very good game so far. So.
Yeah, but where's he been in those fights that started off poorly? He can't like counter initiate or anything because he doesn't have blink.
Radiant
Well,
are
unfortunately,
falling.
Trent, he cannot control how V-Tune chooses to position Drow Ranger.
Well, you can with your mic. You just yell at them.
Well, there is
Although it
still
doesn't seem to work in my game.
say there's still a trust point there of V-Tune listening to what you have to say. I mean, you are right, but it's felt less like General in the wrong spot and more like they just misread the movements kind of as a team. If Navi had gone left instead of right, General would have been in the absolute right position. So,
Well, I didn't necessarily mean that fight. I meant like the other fight.
I
With
see.
the Rubik and the Venge.
I see.
On the high ground.
Yeah,
And the Aegis and whatnot.
don't remember where General was when that started.
Well, he wasn't in the right place, I'll tell you that much. I'm just kidding.
But we all make mistakes, buddy. Let's see if General has had time to learn and grow from it. Basher is a scary item in the hands of Pangolier, though.
Yeah, Pasha's living the fear life here. He's like, oh, please, let me go. Oh, he didn't get the organ off. I guess it wouldn't matter. You already cast Timberchain, but still. He's trying to catch it before.
Yeah, they might have had a potential to close the gap. His CP's up in a couple seconds now, so Pasha should be fine.
He's looking for the farthest trees.
Keep it going, Pasha. He even finds a little
that
farm.
regen rune is way too tempting. Oh, jeez, he did it.
Oh, he's got the trees. He's got Ironwood tree. Oh, that's awesome. He GG'd on top of the regen. Is it going to cost him, though?
Yeah,
it will cost him everything.
It was too tempting. He couldn't help himself.
Dire's middle tower
Ironwood tree on
under
Timber is
attack.
cool. It's always cheeky when you see stuff like that.
It has a much larger cast range than you expect. 800?
Yeah.
So it actually makes it kind of valuable for like Wind Ranger and stuff.
Yeah. Well, either way, rough for the
Radiant's
Timber,
top tower
and
is under
FTM
attack.
looking at high ground. B-Tune laying into the tower, and Drow Ranger starting to get to that point where she does hurt. The Yasha up now to go with the
Dire's
Hurricane
middle
Pike, but
tower
level
has
14.
fallen.
Tier 3 tower dead, and not much of a defense able to be mounted by Na'Vi without their Timber.
I mean, you have to fully commit on that defense, too, because they're just using the Venge Aura, and then the Prophet and the Drow just hit from the low ground anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a commitment. And Drow coming up on 15.
All right, Lifestealer has now hit the basic items that he needs to, like, function in a team fight with the Halberd. So there's that, but he's still not scary, I would say. Now he just, like, brings hope. I think the BKB is going to be a big slap down GG for V-Tune if they're still in a good position. Like, if they get Aegis Cheese and BKB,
Yeah.
there's going to be some problems here. But we got 40 seconds till the Roche spawns, and Na'Vi, this is your time. It's a 15k lead that has grown.
Still a tall order. Crystallize goes in. Defensive swap. Keeps him alive. Always want to fly.
Dire's middle
Throws his
barracks
body
under
at the
attack.
equation and seems to have come up with a solution. They'll retreat. Immersion rolls in. Clumsy net does set up onto Rubik. But now General goes cruising on in. Multi-shot flies through. Immersion does manage to survive. Ghost Scepter out on Ilias as Iceberg jumps in the back line. Double damage did get picked up by the Invoker, but now this spread out fight not working for Na'Vi. Ilias going to be in trouble here as the false promise will pop. Immersion dies in the back line, and Pasha now stunned up, locked down, and he is not so tanky after all. Does have the surprise inside, trying to get Lifestealer in front of that Drow Ranger, but B-Tune just pushes up to the high ground. Now Crystallize in super deep. Aloha Dance is chasing Pasha off to the other side. And it looks like he is going to get finished off as General. Iceberg, they come in to close the gap. Another
Greaves?
telekinesis, and they've got him. Finish
Maybe.
off by Whirling Death, and then Crystallize did end up living. Found a good juke path in the
Radiant
tree line,
structures are
and he'll be just fine.
fortified.
Yeah, they got spread out. You know, the whole thing that
Dire's
they
top
just
tower
do not
is
want to
under
happen
attack.
versus this lineup.
The
Radiant's
long
middle
chase
tower
onto the
is
Timber
under attack.
ended up working out. Yeah, this Drow is
There's no
getting to
BKB
the
for 8
point.
seconds here.
Roshan
I think he's dead.
fallen to the range.
I will rise next season.
Okay. Space creation for Roche? Question mark?
Master.
The aggro play out of Iceberg? Perhaps
Not the biggest deal, but at least
little
gives them
unnecessary, but yeah, that's. He is still crazy farmed. This Prophet has had a very easy game so far.
something. And I love the way that they're just positioning him in front, always holding the swap too.
Immersion now in the front line. He's got a Ghost Scepter himself, so he'll have a reset. General charging through the Rolling Thunder and just backs out. Brisal comes in. Drow on the run.
On the one hand, you want to force it because you're probably not going to get a fight
Radiant's bottom
4v5, but
tower is under
there's still
attack.
Aegis and Cheese. But if you try and delay until after this Aegis and Cheese, it doesn't really feel that good. I mean, they're just at a point in the game where it's, you know, big risks must be taken in order to get
Yes.
back into it.
It's Hail Mary time. We need to go high risk, high reward, try to break this open. Because as you said a couple times now, the siege power from FlyToMoon is quite scary. They can just keep furthering this lead, and they can start taking your base structures really with minimal risk thanks to the Vincere. These two ranged carries just sit low ground, and once Navi's locked in their base, that's where heroes like Prophet and Drow can really play vacuum cleaner. Suck up all that farm. Timber's on now. He's going to be caught. Guardian Greaves, give him a little reset. Iceberg with a very aggro TP. Actually goes for the Invoker instead, but not a lot of follow-up there. Na'Vi on the run, and they'll make it back with their full team intact. Not good that Na'Vi seem incapable of making an aggressive play, though. Really good ward they have out on the low ground.
They're starting with some pretty long-range initiations, though. That's kind of just the nature of their lineup. Again, they don't have Blink on General, right? So it's like the fights only happen when Na'Vi starts them. Other than that, it's just objectives.
Dire's middle barracks.
Ghost Scepter, False Promise. They've already killed the ranged barracks. Now melee under assault. FTM, BKB, pop by Iceberg. Drow in the front line, Mantas it off, trying to walk back to safety. Pasha trying to pursue, but he just can't. Silenced, locked down, and now the right clicks come. Immersion goes rolling in, gets a great magnetize, and maybe this is the setup.
Did he ever?
And they clean this up. Aloha Dance getting low. They need some finishers, though. Aloha Dance goes down first. General rolling around. They get Iceberg. Always want to fly with the TP in the trees. He makes it. And now General looking for the retreat. He's left all alone. The Drow also made it out. His TP won't happen. And Na'Vi somehow managed to get 3 out of this without taking a single death themselves. They don't finish off the Aegis, but that was one hell of a hold. They did lose the range barracks.
And it's
mostly a
of
hold.
fine. There's only 2 minutes left on the Aegis anyway, so by the time Nature's Prophet respawns, they're not going to be able to actually push in here.
That was pretty big.
Man, I'm going to fight recap. I didn't catch one. I don't know if you did.
I'll take
I only got the kill on General. I didn't get the full recap.
Yeah, I think
I wanted to see how much damage Immersions did.
Yeah, me too.
That was,
That's exactly what I was just thinking. I guess I'll check at the end, but that
was a god tier magnetize.
And probably with Veil, too.
We see why this is respect banned against Immersion in most games. Earth Spirit Tree, his big 2.
Delicate lead. Lifestealer has almost caught up to Drow. That's unreal.
And he's going MKB. So we'll now hit very hard. Just the Blitz Knuckles await. The Knucklers.
I saw he stole Infest on the Law Dance, and he infested inside the Drow, but it's not even that good. It's like 25% movement speed. That's kind of it. You know, I was thinking like, oh man, this could be kind of sick, but there's no like huge buffs or bonuses, and Drow, she's already pretty fast.
No, like it's only really sick on Lifestealer because he's not that mobile, and it gives him a tool to get into the back line or to escape.
Or to like get in and out,
Yeah, for Rubik, it doesn't really. I guess it gives you a potential escape if you need it, but yeah, I guess you could pop out and then telekinese somebody. You could be like a little hit squad. BKB now up on the Drow Ranger, obviously a big item. And she does have Butterfly queued up now. Might end up not being the choice, given the MKB is already complete on Lifestealer.
I don't know. Blade, maybe?
I'm
a little wild.
I'm not nervous for FTM, but I keep
you
hearing
should
that
be.
word delicate in the back of my head. Like, y'all are some fine china. You look good right now, but positioned poorly in the dishwasher, and you might find a couple of shattered glasses.
Yeah, don't put your silver in the dishwasher, guys. Well, sorry, you can put silver in the dishwasher, but it has to only touch other silver. Got to put it in the separate part. You don't want to tarnish your silver, right? There's your handy advice from the married father of 2.
You're going to want to hand wash your china that is not dishwasher safe. If it was made 50 years ago, it's probably not dishwasher safe. Pro tip.
Pasha's going it.
He wants it up top onto Iceberg. Follow-up stun. How far will Na'Vi pursue? Sunstrike scouts things out a little bit. B-Tune still holding the BKB. Remember, there's no H's here.
Wait, where'd that cheese go? Am I crazy? Did General get gone on?
Dire's middle barracks.
I'm not sure.
He had the cheese when he TP'd out.
On a courier? Is it on Prophet? No.
He must got gone on somewhere. Oh, it's in the fountain. Why is it in the fountain?
What?
They
Oh,
left
shit,
the
you're right.
cheese.
There is a cheese in the Radiant Fountain right now. Why wouldn't you just put it in somebody's backpack and carry it with you?
I guess there was a miscommunication.
Oh, like Venge has slots, Drow has slots. Just put it
I mean,
on a courier and
Iceberg,
fly
I
it out.
assume
What do you?
they were saving it for Iceberg. Like, get rid of the Blightstone, just put in the cheese when they go high ground or whatever.
Yeah, I can't think of any possible advantage for not keeping it in a backpack. MKB now up on the Pango. Man, a lot of Monkey King bars this game. Smoke from Na'Vi now, pressing into enemy territory. They might find Iceberg. Roll from long range, does connect. Surprise inside, Sunstrike, boom.
I did not think they were going to get that, man. That's a risky play. Like, the smoke out Idfest.
That was
Excellent
a clean
found.
kill, though.
And now Aloha Dance, too.
So we're going to find this one nice and easy. Cold Snap.
Oh, buddy, I love these games. Oh, I love when you're in this game in a pub and your team starts turning on each other because you're up so much.
Yep.
And everyone's starting to get a little stressed out that they're coming back.
And you don't have the obvious objectives anymore. There's only one tier 3 remaining. You've got half the barracks mid. Roche isn't up for a while. You're in this situation of like, what do we do? I don't want to just farm passively because I don't want to give Na'Vi space, but we can't just throw our bodies at the high ground.
Oh, I can feel this so hard right now. Oh, immersion. See, look, guys, even legendary Earth Spirits make mistakes, and it still works out. Okay, well, even legendary Earth Spirits make mistakes twice.
Well, they're still going to find the kill. So it all comes together.
My sadness that you're gone.
8K net worth lead. She is dwindling, cut in half from its peak just about 10 minutes ago. And that win percentage climbing for Na'Vi, now up to about a 70-30. Still in favor of FlyToMoon, of course, but
I blame the double
scales are
Vlads.
shifting.
That's what did them in.
They have a double Vlad, really?
Radiant's top tower
They
is under
picked it up on Wisma Fly, too. After
Radiant's
General bought it
structures
first.
are
Why'd they
fortified.
do that? That's silly.
Hey, he can sell it. It's fine. It's actually not a big deal. I mean, General hasn't been near him the whole time anyway,
Radiant's
so.
top tower has
I
fallen.
guess that's true. That's still odd, though. We're still not even seeing Vlad every game. And FlyToMoon, they're doubling down.
Radiant's top
Well,
tower
they had
is
to make
under
up for
attack.
Na'Vi because they don't have one.
Oh, there you go.
You know, the stats gotta be saved.
Like this change from V-Tune, though. Seeing the amount of MKBs being worked on, he will not go for the butterfly and instead just one stainless. So going to go for raw damage instead.
Oh, they're doing
down
it again.
bottom. Infest bomb onto Iceberg. That's the cheese. BKB used.
Radiant's top tower has
Still a
fallen.
lot being committed here, and now they're going to turn onto Crystallize. Remember, he used the Infest to get in here, and he's done. V-Tune gets him. That was a big commitment from Na'Vi, and now it's going to cost him.
No
Lotus.
buyback, too. They
Joseph.
nearly had him with the bashes through the BKB, but yeah, that cheese thankfully picked up this time.
Yes, without the cheese, that would have been a disaster.
And he's just going Satanic to try and avoid that again, too. Give him the stats resistance and then just try and fight through it.
I like that. Eat the cheese and then buy one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it helps
Smart
he can
man.
get rid of his Blightstone with the orb, too. You know, just a
Yeah.
way better Blightstone.
Dire's
Absolutely.
turret has been killed.
Roshan up in a minute. Oh, a longer respawn. Slightly unlucky for FlyToMoon, I imagine.
Damn, they have unused Titan Sliver on Na'Vi and unused Spider Legs on FlyToMoon as we head to the Tier 4 neutrals.
Rubik holding on to the Philosopher's Stone still.
Yeah, this is where I want the Spider Legs in the backpack. So that when you know, the fight's going to start, you like just pop them in.
Now, both teams actually opting to skip the Titan Sliver.
Oh, they got the cape on the Dire. V-Tune praying for that cape.
Oh, yeah. That's your dream item on Drow Ranger. Well, she got the Leveler. That actually
Leveler's
is
pretty
high
sick,
up there,
too, when you're going Daedalus. That's for sure.
Yeah, okay. Maybe the Leveler is a little better. One of the things that I really like about the Illusionist Cloak is that the duration of the illusion and the cooldown are exactly the same. So if the illusion doesn't die, it has 100% uptime.
Yeah.
So you can use it to stack camps, push out waves. Like it's a really cheeky little item. Drow gonna kill Roche in less than 10 seconds. That might have literally been 5 seconds.
It doesn't even have the
Jesus.
Daedalus done yet.
Yeah, that's just a Crystallis. Man, does this hero scale. It's only 38 minutes.
I was just thinking, I don't think she's used BKB. It's still 10 seconds.
Aloha Dance. He's in pretty deep. Swap gonna save him. Immersion comes in, as does General. The fight breaks out, and they'll lose. Always want to fly. Blink back. General now still in. The Prophet gets disarmed right away. He BKBs. That ain't gonna help you. Now V-Tune on the low ground. That'll be his 10-second BKB. They should be able to get Immersion. They kill the Life Stealer. Buyback from Ilias. Probably not going to do a hell of a lot. A big fight for FlyToMoon. They do burn that buyback on the Vengeful Spirit as well. But they know they can go high ground now. And Life Stealer, he's short gold. 900 for that buyback. This is a big window. 60 seconds.
Yeah, they went for the fight outside the base, maybe feeling that it would suit them better. See if they can get a good initiation, but now it's time to try and delay a little here. You got a minute. You do not want to take a fight without your Life Stealer, of course.
You got Prince's Knife now on Pango. That's huge. He's actually not using it. Did they hand it over to someone?
Yeah, he's got Flicker for the Dispel.
But surely somebody wants the Prince's Knife, no? Magic Lamp on Iceberg, actually. Remember, they still had Aegis, too. Drow Ranger didn't burn it in that last fight. Little pressure on the melee barracks mid. Luckily, there is a repair kit for Na'Vi. That is slowing things down a little. But now pressure into Pasha. He gets the false promise. He might still be okay. I think the Oracle heals are going to be enough. And yeah, he'll be just fine. Full heal. Mid lane of barracks, though. They drop.
Only losing 1 Rax would be a good victory here for them, considering the dead Life Stealer for a minute.
And considering that it was only a melee barracks, tier 3 down. And they are just going to
FlyToMoon, it's definitely still back on track.
A little misstep there. Look at that gold graph, and they have recovered and then some. Now 25k their favor. Look at that XP graph as well. Oop, fight up top. Aloha Dance, Immersion. Does catch him with the telekinesis. Sprout. Not even going to need it. Just BKB. Popeye Iceberg after the teleportation. Another Yule Scepter. Poor Immersion. He's just trying to get away.
Does die back too.
Now swap. Always going to fly. Looking for a setup. Not quite going to find it, although the Tornado does. Drow jumps in. Swap back. Awkward movement from FTM. Always want to fly. Does survive, though. False Promise still on cooldown. And this time the Timbersaw will die. Crystallize. That's not the spot he wanted to get dropped in. This isn't where I parked my car. Life Stealer now dead for 80, and this is looking like the GG push. The Drow Ranger crippling the structures. A 3v4. Na'Vi trying desperately to hold on. But I don't see any reason why FTM can't end this. They got a couple of cardies. Repair kit on the Ancient. The final hold, BKB from Iceberg. Now General jumps in. They want this Invoker, but he will get false promised. This is a little bit dicey. That's the Aegis. But now they're starting to focus the throne, the repair kit. It's working as hard as it can, but it won't be enough for the likes of the Drow Ranger, and the GG comes out.
Yeah.
41 minutes. That'll be FlyToMoon. That takes game number 1. Brilliant execution with this Drow lineup.
Yeah, really well done. In the past, they probably would have lost this game with comeback gold. If like the way it functions with like the old net worth and all that stuff, instead of just being like the net worth value of the heroes you're killing. So you actually have a lot more breathing room with Drow lineups than you used to, because before, if you made that many mistakes, you probably would have lost. Yeah. So it's I don't know, kind of interesting that you have a little bit more wiggle room with these drafts now.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Young G played a good Invoker that game, but it just seemed like Na'Vi needed the lanes